What's up, everybody? John Eric Poli here with My MMA News, and today's guest will be fighting Kale Moniz at Fury FC 75 on February 17th. Pleased today to be joined by Carlos Lozoya. Carlos, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you making the time. You're actually over in Thailand right now, so thanks for scheduling this while you're, out making a little kind of vacay, but training vacation as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's start right there with you going over to Tiger Muay Thai. So explain to everybody, I know we were chit-chatting off air a little bit about it. So you actually had a trip planned before this fight was offered. So you just figured, hey, let's do it anyway. We'll still go over. I can still get training in. Explain the whole process of how you ended up over at Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah, so I had this trip for over like half a year. I had this trip booked or for already for like over half a year, and and then they offered me the fight, and then I was like, it seems like a perfect timeline because I'm training pretty intense over here, you know. So it's to me it seems like a really good idea. So I was like, oh, I'll use it almost like as like a training camp, you know. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
I say you're at a good spot to be training over there too, because Tiger Muay Thai has produced so many like high level guys over the year. It's such a fantastic gym. Just what's the experience been like so far of being over there, and how have you enjoyed the time training over there with some of those guys?
Yeah, no, the experience has been it's been it's been really awesome. You know, it gave me a new perspective on like how probably like we should be training in the States. Um, it's just like repetitions of like honestly it's like nothing fancy. It's just like repetitions of like a lot of basic things. But it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of repetitions, you know? And then it's really hot. So like the training is like it's outside. It's pretty humid outside. And you just like it's just an intense workout of like doing Muay Thai for like hours and hours and hours, you know. So I'd say like most days I'm training probably like 4 to 5 hours, which is like pretty hard, and then like I like crash throughout the day. But no man, it's awesome. It's like I was telling you offline, but it reminds me of like wrestling in college, but like Muay Thai. So it's like I really do love it. It's really cool.
All right, so one of the things you were saying there made me actually flash back to back when I was in college. So in college, I competed in track and field. I was heavier back then. I threw the shot put and threw the hammer, but we had a All-American hammer thrower on my team, and he used to every single day would do the same exact drills, one after another. Each drill served the purpose for obviously being able to go out and compete at that high of a level and making sure his technique was 100% perfect. Is that kind of like the same thing when you're over there? And you said we don't do that a lot here in the States like that. It's just this repetition of every single drill is the same every single day, and every single drill serves a purpose for kind of your whole technique there in the long run.
Yeah, like we'll probably do like so like most like so the Muay Thai classes are like 2 hours, and then they'll show like 1 to 2 techniques for the 2 hours, and you're just drilling, and like aside from drilling those techniques, you're doing like like you start off like running, and then they have so many trainers, it's crazy. You start off running, you come back, and then you'll hit mitts for like you'll do 5 rounds, 5 minute rounds of just doing mitts, and after that you'll do like 5 minute rounds of hitting the bag, and then after that you'll do like 1 to 2 techniques, and then after that it's like 5 minute rounds of some sparring, and after that it's they'll show like some technique of like some clinching, and then it's like 5 minutes rounds of clinching, and then boom, 2 hours later. Then you'll probably do like a workout at the end, and then you're like, oh my god, this is. But like it doesn't seem like you're getting much technique in there, but it's like, man, you're getting like in those 2 hours, I'm probably kicking like probably 300 times per leg, and then maybe even like probably more honestly, but it's just like there's nothing fancy about it. Like I feel like the biggest thing I've learned is like just learning their clinching because it's a lot different from like MMA. There's like very specific rules with Muay Thai, but uh, no, it's been a really cool experience. Like I feel like just simple things like just like a kick. Like I haven't really gotten too much instruction on it, but like just doing it like a million times already, I can feel it like just different, you know. But yeah.
All right. So now, with all of that being said, the plan is to return back here to the States in early February, fight obviously middle February there. Let's talk about this fight now a little bit here. It's a big opportunity for you. You get to go out, you get to get back into the win column if you get a victory here. Just how excited are you for this opportunity to go out and compete and then kind of, maybe again, kind of get yourself back in that win column? That last fight too, split decision loss. I mean, that's obviously got to be a heartbreaker for you too as well. Just kind of looking back on things, and this could kind of, get yourself right in that right direction again.
Yeah, no, it's I don't really care about um like I don't care about like the result as much, but like obviously I want to win more than anything, but um it's just to me it's just like the progression of like my skill set. I just want to keep getting better and better, and I know I can beat this kid, I already know I know I can finish him too. But no, it's yeah, it mean a lot, but like winning is not everything. But yeah, definitely like in my mind, like um I know I can finish him, so like is it like the world to me, like I've lost a lot in life already. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like losing sucks more than anything. Like like so like to me it's like I almost hate like I almost hate losing more than I like winning, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, it'll mean a lot, and then I can be like 8-3, and my last two fights were at like 125, and it was like it's like the cut's not hard, but it's like getting to like like the diet to get down to cut was super super difficult both times, and yeah, so like my whole career has like been 135, and then I did two times 125, and I was like, all right, this is retarded. So I'm just going back up to 135. So I feel like I'm just so much stronger at 135 and way better athlete. I feel like I have like a mental clarity at 135 as well. And yeah, no, I'm just excited just to honestly just to fight. I'm excited to fight at like and like enjoy it because I really really enjoyed like the process of training again. Like whereas before I was eating like less than like 1,400 calories and I was doing like three trainings a day and for like months and I was like, fuck, this sucks. So no, I'm just happy to fight, man.
I was gonna say, like, how much better does the body feel when you're not cutting those additional 10 pounds too? Because I feel like this has kind of been a trend the last like really few years. We've been seeing more and more of fighters were saying like, why am I putting my body through this? By the time you come in on fight night, you're so exhausted and drained. You can't feel your legs, your mind shutting off. Just how much better is it not cutting those additional 10 pounds?
like I'm not like exactly at like 10 pounds plus, but like to me it's just like I'm at where like my body performs the best. So but it's everything, like I remember last camp I was like, man, I'm feeling great because I was like at a certain body fat percentage. I was like I'm feeling great. I'm recovering really really great. I get to like train. Yeah, I feel a little like sick, but then I kept going down. I kept going down. I kept going down. I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. But yeah, no, man, it just I cut a lot of weight and like in wrestling also like for a little bit, and I just went up a weight class and I did so much better. So I know like I can compete at a big like at a slightly bigger weight. Um, but yeah, it just like it makes me a better person, makes me a better husband, it makes me a better martial artist. I just enjoy life a lot more. So to me, that's more important than being a little bit bigger.
Yeah, man, 100%. There's a lot, like you said, a lot of other things in life that are, more important and come first. And it's good that, that the not cutting that additional weight kind of has a more positive impact in so many different things just outside of fighting too as well there. Anyway, back to specifics on this fight. I do want to talk about your opponent now a little bit. Just kind of what have you seen out of him? Have you been scouting? I know obviously you said in the beginning there you're very confident. Yeah, you think you're going to get the win here as you should think coming into a fight. Just what are your thoughts though on him that you've seen out of him so far?
Just to me, he's long, he has some power. Um, he's patient. And I think that makes him dangerous. Like a lot of times we find people with like power who are like almost reckless to find like a finish. But no, he's really patient. And but it's nothing like I haven't fought already before. I feel like I fought better guys already. I feel like I fought way more powerful guys already. And then his like to me, he's a great boxer, you know? And he has some like decent like low kicks, but like to me it's like like anyone can get knocked out, you know? Like I don't need you don't need a certain power threshold to like knock everybody out. He has like a great power threshold in his patience, and he does have like some accuracy with his right hand. But no, he's like, like obviously there's danger in every single fight. I think there's a little bit of danger in this fight as well. But I really think I can like I think I can perform really, really well against a style like him. So like every other like most of my other 135 fights, like he's just a tall, really strong boxer, So
So I want to ask a travel question here for you that's kind of related to this fight. So it's funny now with UFC 284 coming up. I've been interviewing a lot of fighters that are on that card, and we've kind of been talking about the travel process coming from the States, getting to Australia, cutting weight. Well, kind of similar with you here. So obviously you're out in Thailand now. You're going to be traveling back to the States beginning February. Fight mid-February there. So you're going to be traveling a lot. What's kind of like, do you have I guess a game plan kind of set up, or like how you're approaching just the different time zones, the jet lag, the nutrition, everything that goes into it? Because obviously, when you're landing in the States, about 2 weeks to fight night, so obviously you'd be hardcore peak at the, at training camp at that moment.
yeah, I mean, there's gonna be definitely like some stress with like flying because it's like a 12-hour difference from home. But like it usually takes like 2, 3 days to like kind of get used to the time zone again. And then I mean, like I'll have what 17 days from the fight, 16 days from the weigh-ins, well, of when I get back home. So uh, I feel like it's more than enough time to like kind of adjust. And like as for my nutrition, I'm like low enough to where I have a lot of like wiggle room. Like if I was 125 right now, this would be really, really hard. So it would have to be very specific. I would have to like uh, pack meals. I'd have to make meals and then pack them and then pack it in my like already stuffed bags. So um, but no, I have like definitely some leeway. I'm definitely eating like really, really healthy out here, but I have some leeway when I'm traveling. So, that it relieves a little bit of stress of that. And then the travel down to the fight, it's not that big of a deal to me. It's like, I think like 3 hours or something like that. So, but yeah, those first like 2, 3 days are going to be like pretty hard, but I'll get over it.
All right, so let's end today by talking about your career as a whole here. I have a few questions for you about it. We'll start here. So, obviously, you've been red hot as of late, victories in 6 of your last 7. What's kind of been clicking for you in the stretch here?
Um, I feel like a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of people focus on like and I feel like this is kind of where I went wrong in my last 2 fights. I feel like a lot of people focus on like physical attributes of like speed and power and being a better athlete, which is super important, but it's not the most important thing. And and I feel like just having fun, like really loving like the skill development and having an open mind of like and like having the ego or like setting aside the ego to like just try new things. Um and it's like even when I like my first like back in 2014 I was 1-2, um even if right now like I went 0-7 in my last 7, I'd still be just training. I'd still be like doing the same thing, just working on my skill and just loving the sport, man. Like there's no secret to this. It's just uh like the right skill development and then just lots of hard work. But I try to make this as fun as possible, and it's like I love martial arts more than anything. But yeah, it's just that it's just like really just focusing on the skill development and then I feel like yeah, the physical attributes are like super super important, but like I feel like at a certain level everyone's very physically gifted, you know. I feel like I'm right there where like people are like trying to get into the UFC, like they're kind of close, and all of them are like pretty physically gifted, you know. Like everybody in the UFC is definitely physically gifted, like, and I feel like the thing that sets people apart is just like the skill, you know. So and that's my focus, my training most of my time.
And it's funny that you brought up about guys trying to get into the UFC. I was actually going to ask you this question because if you go out, you get a win here. That's wins in 7 of 8 fights. You have that nice record there. You're in a promotion like Fury, which a lot of fighters in the UFC have come out of. So that leads me to this question. With the win, do you think Dana White's Contender Series might be calling, or is that something you're not even focused
I'm
about? You don't care if
not
that
even gonna
comes
worry about
in,
it, man.
or
Like
what's kind of the thought process with that?
I'll be like, you know, so I went here. I think I'm just like my goal, honestly. So like the reason I went back up to 135, my goal is I want 5 fights this year. Like I want to fight 5 times. I feel like I can really do that. I can do that easily. So in the past I was in the military, so it was hard to fight. And now like this is my first year out of the well, I guess like second year out of the military now, but I feel like I have nothing stopping me just having fun doing martial arts, you know. And if I get to the UFC and like during that process, then that's great. But you know, I'm not like UFC is the goal, obviously, but you know, I'm not like I'm not gonna I'm not a different person if I'm not there, you know. So yeah, but yeah, obviously, like I'd love to be in the UFC. I'd love to go to the Contender Series at the end of the year, but I don't want to just do this one fight and then like sit on a Contender Series fight. You know, I want to do this fight and then just fight.
So go out, get a win, let the chips kind of fall where they may from that point there. And I'm actually glad that you brought up the whole entire thing about being in the service there because I wanted to ask you about your service to the country, about being in the Army. This is actually was me my last question for you here today too. Was just tell everybody about that a little bit. Like what made you want to go into the Army and get involved, and what was that whole service time like for you? And before I forget, I should have led with this too with this question. Thank you for your service too. I don't know if a lot of people go around telling you that or not, but they should because it's a very honorable thing to do to serve the United States like that.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I appreciate you thanking me. But you know, I started off as a medic, and really like when I first started or when I was like getting recruited, uh, they offered me like a bunch of money to like do some random job that I was like, they're like, are you sure you don't want to take this job? It's a lot of money, and I was like, what? No, that's freaking retarded. I was like, and really what I wanted to do, I just wanted to help people, you know. I really wanted to help people, and then so I took medic and I took no money, and I loved it, man. I loved it for a long time. And then I went into Ranger Battalion, and then that's it's just a different environment. And then I mean, that experience just it taught me a lot about like how hard I can actually like push like my physical boundaries, and which I already did in like wrestling in college, but it's just different, you know. Like being a small guy in Ranger Battalion, like they carry you pack a lot of weight on your back, you know, and it's uh yeah, it was a cool experience. You know, I met like some of the best guys I've ever met in my entire life. Some of the best athletes I've ever met in my entire life. Uh, in the Army, some really good people. But no, I loved it, man. It was a good experience. It was also I had a lot of hard experiences too, you know. But it's worth it, man. Like, cause it's definitely developed me. Like, not I forget like about being a fighter, but it's developed me a lot as like being a better person. I think.
I bet, man. And next time we do one of these interviews, we'll really get into depth about it because I have a lot of questions for it. But that's about all the time we have for today. Just want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate the time. Last thing before you head out today, social media management, sponsors, anything you got to plug, take it away. Floor is yours.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at Carlos Lozoya MMA, and same thing on Twitter. Shout out to Julian with Upgrade Management, and yeah, that's it.
All right, Carlos, thanks again, man, for all the time. Really appreciate it. Again, everybody, Carlos will be fighting at Fury FC 75. Fight date is February 17th. One last thing before I head out here today, just want to remind everybody, if you like today's interview, please do me a favor. Make sure to go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And keep going to MyMMANews.com, checking out all of our great work. Go to our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure to go there, give us a like and a follow on there as well. We'll see you later, everybody.